Hello everyone. Today we will discuss chapter 19, the rise and the growth of Gupta Empire. Background. After the breakup of Maurya Empire, the Shatavahanas and Kushanas emerged as two large political powers. The Shatavahanas acted as a stabilizing factor in the Deccan and South, to which they give political unity and economic prosperity on the strength of their trade with Roman Empire. The Kushans performed the same role in North. Both these empires came to an end in the middle of the 3rd century AD. On the ruins of Kushan Empire arose a new empire, which established its sway over a good part of the former dominions of both the Kushans and Shatavahanas. This was the power of the Guptas, which may have been of Vaishya origin. Although the Gupta Empire was not as large as the Maurya Empire, it kept North India politically united for more than a century, from 335 to 455. The original kingdom of the Guptas comprised Uttar Pradesh and Bihar at the end of the 3rd century AD. Uttar Pradesh seems to have been a more important province for the Guptas than Bihar because early Gupta coins and inscriptions have been mainly found in that state. If we leave out some feudatories and private individuals whose inscriptions have been mostly found in Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh will stand out as the most important area in respect of the finds of Gupta antiquities. Hence, Uttar Pradesh seems to have been the place from where the Guptas operated and fanned out in different directions, probably with their center of power at Prayag. They spread in the neighboring regions. Guptas were possibly the feudatories of Kushans in Uttar Pradesh and seem to have been succeeded them without any wide time lag. At many places in Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, the Kushan antiquities are immediately followed by the Gupta antiquities. It is likely that the Guptas learned the use of saddle, reins, buttoned coats, trousers, and boots from the Kushans. All these gave them mobility and made them excellent horsemen. In the Kushan scheme of things, chariots and elephants had ceased to be important. Horses played an important main part. This also seems to have been in the case with Guptas, on whose coins horsemen are represented. Although some Gupta kings are described as excellent and unrivaled chariot warriors, their base strength lay in the use of horses. The Guptas enjoyed certain material advantages. The center of their operations lay in the fertile land of Madhya Desha, covering Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. They could exploit the iron ores of central India and South Bihar. Further, they took advantage of their proximity to the areas in North India, which carried on silk trade with the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as Byzantine Empire. On account of these favorable factors, like the Guptas set up their rule over Anuganga, the Middle Gangetic Basin, Prayag, modern Allahabad, Sakeda, modern Ayodhya, and Magadha. In course of time, this kingdom became an all-India empire. The Kushan power in North India came to an end in around AD 230, and then a good part of the central India fell under the rule of Murandas, who were possibly the kingsmen of the Kushans. The Murandas continued to rule till AD 250. 25 years later, in about AD 275, the dynasty of Gupta came to power. The first important king of Gupta dynasty was Chandragupta I. He married a Lichavi princess from Nepal, which strengthened his position. The Guptas were possibly Vaishyas, and hence marriage in Kshatriya family gave them prestige. Chandragupta first seems to have been a ruler of considerable importance because he started the Gupta era in AD 319 to 20, which marked the date of his accession. Later, many inscriptions came to be dated in Gupta era. Samudragupta, AD 335 to 380. The Gupta kingdom was enlarged enormously by the Chandragupta's first son and successor, Samudragupta. So Chandragupta first, then Samudragupta. Okay. AD 335 to 380. He was the opposite of Ashoka. Ashoka believed in a policy of peace and non-aggression, but Samudragupta delighted in violence and conquest. His court poet Harisena, Samudragupta's court poet was Harisena, wrote a glowing account of the military exploits of his patron. In a long inscription, the poet enumerates the peoples and countries that were conquered by Samudragupta. The inscription is engraved in at Allahabad on the same pillars as carries an inscription of the peace-loving Ashoka. The places and the countries conquered by Samudragupta can be divided into 5 groups. Group 1 includes the princes of the Ganga Yamuna Doab, who were defeated and whose kingdoms were incorporated into Gupta Empire. Group 2 includes the rulers of the eastern Himalayan states and some frontier states such as princes of Nepal, Assam, Bengal, etc., who were made to feel the weight of Samudragupta's arms. It also covers some republics of Punjab. The republics which flickered on the ruins of Maurya Empire were finally put out by the Samudragupta. Okay. The Allahabad pillar inscription of Samudragupta, lines 30 to 31 and 33. Okay. The Nagari rendering of lines 30, 31 and 33 and English translation of 30 to 31 are given below. Okay. And whose fame ever heaped up higher and higher by the development of his liberality and prowess of arm and composure and the precepts of the scriptures. The traveling by many paths purifies the 3 worlds as if it were the pale yellow water of the Ganga flowing quickly on being liberated from confinement. The tickets of the matted hair of Pashupati. Okay. The figure 15 shows the Gupta Empire, circa AD 400. Okay. The Gupta Empire at the close of the 4th century. Okay. Pandyas, Pallavas, Gangas, Kanchi, Kadambas, Kayanas, Vakadagas, Ajanta, Ujjain, Sanchi, Mandasore, Vallavi, Gurjaras, Sindh, Malavas, Mathura, Arjunayas, Tanesar, Delhi, Yaudheya, Kashmir, Madras, Kanauj, Ayodhya, Kashi, Prayag, Patliputra, Vaishali, Kamrupa, okay, Tamralipti. Okay. Group 3 includes the forested kingdoms situated in the Vindhya region known as Attaviga Rajas, forested kingdoms, okay, situated in the Vindhya region. They were brought under the control of Samudragupta. Group 4 includes 12 rulers of the eastern Deccan and South India who were conquered and liberated. Samudragupta's arms reached as far as Kanchi in Tamil Nadu, where the Pallavas were compelled to recognize his suzerainty. Group 5 includes the names of the Shagas and Kushans, some of them ruling in Afghanistan. It is said that Samudragupta swept them out of the power and received the submission of the rulers of distant lands. Okay. Coins of Chandragupta first, Samudragupta and Chandragupta second. Okay. The prestige and influence of Samudragupta spread even outside India. According to Chinese source, Meghavarman, the ruler of Sri Lanka, sent a missionary to Samudragupta for the permission to build a Buddhist temple at Gaya. This was granted and the temple developed into a huge monastic establishment. If we believe the eulogistic inscription from the Allahabad, it would appear that Samudragupta never knew any defeat, and in this sense, he is called the Napoleon of India. There is no doubt that Samudragupta forcibly unified the greater part of India under him, and his power was felt in much larger area. Okay, next is Chandragupta II, AD 380 to 412. Chandragupta II AD 380 to 412. The reign of Chandragupta II saw the high watermark of the Gupta Empire. He extended the limits of the empire by marriage, alliance, and conquest. Chandragupta married his daughter Prabhavati with a Vakadaga prince who belonged to the Brahmana caste and ruled in central India. The prince died and was succeeded by his young son. So Prabhavati became the virtual ruler, as shown by some of her land charters, which betray the influence of Eastern Gupta writing. She managed the affairs of her kingdom with the help of an official sent by her father Chandragupta. Thus, Chandragupta exercised indirect control over the Vagadaga kingdom in central India. This afforded a great advantage to him. Passing through this area, Chandragupta II conquered western Malwa and Gujarat, which had been under the rule of Shagas for about 4 centuries by that time. The conquest gave Chandragupta the western sea coast, famous for trade and commerce. This contributed to the prosperity of Malwa and its chief city Ujjain. Ujjain seems to have been made the second capital by Chandragupta II. The exploits of a king called Chandra are glorified in an iron pillar inscription fixed near Qutub Minar in Delhi. If Chandra is considered to be identical with Chandragupta II, it will appear that he established Gupta authority in northwestern India and in a good portion of the Bengal. Chandragupta II adopted the title of Vikramaditya, which had been first used by Ujjain ruler in 58 BC as a mark of victory over the Shagas. The court of Chandragupta II at Ujjain was adorned by numerous scholars, including Kalidasa and Amarasimha. So Vikramaditya സദസ്സിൽ അമരസിംഹയും കാളിദാസനും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. It was in Chandragupta's time that Chinese pilgrim Fa Hian, so Chinese pilgrim ആയിട്ടുള്ള ഫാഹിയാൻ വന്നത് ചന്ദ്രഗുപ്തയുടെ സമയത്തായിരുന്നു, visited India 399 to 414 and wrote an elaborate account of the life of its people. Fall of the empire. The successors of Chandragupta II had to face an invasion by the Hunas from Central Asia in the second half of the 5th century AD. Although in the beginning, the Gupta king Skandagupta tried to effectively stem the march of the Hunas into India, his successors proved to be weak and could not cope with the Huna invaders, who excelled in horsemanship and who possibly used stirrups made of metal. They could move quickly, and being excellent archers, they seem to have attained considerable success not only in Iran but also in India. By 485, the Hunas occupied eastern Malwa and a good portion of central India, where their inscriptions have been found. The intermediate regions such as Punjab and Rajasthan also passed under their possession. This must have drastically reduced the extent of Gupta Empire at the beginning of the 6th century, although the Huna power was soon overthrown by Yashodavarman of Malwa. The Malwa prince successfully challenged the authority of the Guptas and set up in 532 pillars of the victory, commemorating his conquest of almost the whole of northern India. Almost Yashodavarman's rule was short-lived. It must have given a severe blow to the Gupta Empire. The Gupta Empire was further undermined by the rise of feudatories. The governors appointed by Gupta kings in North Bengal and their feudatories in Samatada or Southeast Bengal tended to become independent. The later Guptas of Magadha established their power in Bihar. Alongside them, the Maukaris rose to power in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh and had their capital at Kanauj. It seems that by 550, Bihar and Uttar Pradesh had passed out of the Gupta hands. By the beginning of the 6th century, we find independent princes issuing land grants in their own rights in northern Madhya Pradesh, although they used the Gupta era in dating their charters. The rulers of Vallabhi established their authority in Gujarat and western Malwa. After the reign of Skandagupta, that is AD 467, hardly any Gupta coin or inscription has been found in western Malwa and Saurashtra. The loss of Western India, which seems to have been complete by the end of the 5th century, must have deprived the Guptas of the rich revenues from trade and commerce and crippled them economically. And the princes of Taneshwar established their power in the Haryana and gradually moved on to Kannauj. The Gupta state may have found it difficult to maintain a large professional army on account of the growing practice of land grants for religious and other purposes, which was bound to reduce their revenues. Their income may have further been affected by the decline of foreign trade. Okay. The migration of a guild of silk weavers from Gujarat to Malwa in AD 473 and their adoption of non-productive professions show that there was not much demand for cloth produced by them. The advantages from Gujarat trade gradually disappeared. After the middle of the 5th century, the Gupta kings made desperate attempts to maintain their gold currency by reducing the content of pure gold in it. But this proved of no avail, although the rule of the imperial Guptas lingered till the middle of the 6th century AD. The imperial glory had ended a century later. So we have completed chapter 19. In the next video, we will discuss chapter 20, life in the Gupta age. Okay, thank you for listening me. We'll see you in next class. Thank you very much.